Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. Welcome back to another edition of the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. This is the Marvelous One, back at it again with Phil. What's good with you, Phil?
What's up? What's going
Yeah,
on?
man. A lot of news since the last episode, man. I mean, first we got to start off with this Lamar Jackson contract.
Yep.
I knew it from the beginning. I told you guys not to worry. This was all part of the Ravens' plan. I know everybody's thinking that Lamar won this back and forth with the Ravens. In my eyes, I think the Ravens won. They got exactly what they wanted. They were willing to give Lamar the receivers, anything he wanted. They would even give him the big, air quotes, big contract number of $260 million, but he wasn't going to get a fully guaranteed contract. That was the debate all along. You're not getting fully guaranteed. Hey, Lamar, go out there, see if you can find a team that will offer you fully guaranteed contract, and we're going to match it. That was the whole thing. So I think the Ravens won this thing. I mean, what you think about it? 260 million, 185 million guaranteed.
I think we spoke a little bit before the show. I think Lamar, they had a contract in place, in my opinion, and Lamar said, "Hey, get these receivers in here." I don't think they would have got those receivers if they would have signed him. So I think the team he kind of forced their hand to say, "Hey, get better." He even drafted a receiver in the first round. So I think there was a little bit of, I'll say 70-30. I don't think it was 100%.
Oh no,
for the Ravens. So I think he kind of forced their hand to say, he'll take less money to take a team friendly deal to make the team better. So
I agree with you. I think that has something to do with it. I think maybe Lamar was like, look, okay, if you're not going to give me the fully guaranteed deal, go get me these receivers.
Yeah.
Go improve the receiving core. Give me some veteran receivers to help me out, him and Mark Andrews out, so so my pass performance can get better, and I don't have to work so hard as a runner. So I get that, but I think this was mostly 80-20.
Okay.
And I think a good 15% of that 20 was Jalen Hurts got his new deal. And that kept driving up the cost for Lamar Jackson. Because I don't think originally they were going to go 260 million, 52 million a year. I think the Jalen Hurts deal drove it up. And the longer they kept waiting, the more they were going to have to pay Lamar. Not guaranteed, but just overall contract. Because let's be honest. This contract is really a 3-year deal, not a 5-year deal. It's 3 years.
Okay.
185 million. Which is the guaranteed money. The rest of the
money is okay.
Yeah, the last 2 years they're gonna restructure. They're gonna, give him signing bonus and spread that money out. Or if he doesn't perform well over the 3 years, they're gonna cut him and they don't have to pay him. So he never gets the rest of the 260 million. Just gets the 185 million. That's how these NFL deals are. These owners are always looking for an out. And really, this deal is a 3-year deal.
Yeah, and we kind of asked this question, would they have done that for another quarterback? You know what I mean? The thing is that I just wonder how much was Lamar Jackson's hand forced, or was it the Ravens' hand forced? Because could he have walked away and they still kind of signed the receivers that he wanted and not necessarily the money he wanted? So I think possibility, probably I kind of sit back and think about it, man. Maybe 80-20 is one of those things where he had to stay face. He had to sign that deal because, look, other teams that were looking for a quarterback already kind of signed their quarterback or have plans to get a quarterback in the draft.
Right. So that's why this happened before the draft.
Yeah.
I think the pressure.
If this happened after, it would have been, he would have had to take probably even less money.
Oh no. Well, he probably have to take less money because there will be no opportunity for a team to put it in an offer for him because the draft has already happened. So getting those 2 first-round draft picks, what team is going to make the trade for him and have
Yep.
to wait another year to get their
Yep.
draft picks.
And then Aaron Rodgers trade, I think, had a lot to do with that too. Even though
Exactly.
this happened before, but I think that was kind of in the works right after Lamar Jackson's deal.
Exactly. And you
So
know,
yeah,
I laugh when I remember hearing, a lot of people talking about, if the Ravens doesn't give him the contract that he wants, and if he had to play under the franchise tag, Lamar should just sit out the season. And I just laugh.
did you now?
Yeah, because he's not going to sit. He's to not get paid for a season. I mean, look, nothing against Lamar, but I don't know if he's really, saved his money or started businesses that keep money flowing, keeping some kind of cash coming in.
I mean, not that we know of.
Not that I know of, but I know it'd be pretty hard for him to sit out a season and not get paid. I always remember a line from, was it Patrick Ewing
Mm-hmm.
back in the 90s when the NBA went on strike. It was a lockout. I think it was a lockout.
The lockout, yeah.
And
92, wasn't it? 90? Maybe 90.
I think it was like late 90s.
Yeah,
And, and someone asked Patrick about the deal that the players made with the owners. And Patrick Ewing's response was, you know how much insurance costs on a Lamborghini? You know what I mean? So it's like, these people got bills to pay. I mean,
yeah,
how
yeah.
long do you think they could sit out? So,
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
happy Lamar got the deal. I think this was the right deal.
Yeah.
Considering what all happened, what all transpired in the NFL, and the fact that the NFL is like, NFL owners are like totally against fully guaranteed contracts. Like they feel that the whole Deshaun Watson deal was like the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
And
And
they
it's
want
kind of,
them to,
I guess it's kind of resets it back a little bit,
right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for the players because I think this was their opportunity to set that precedent where
Yeah.
fully guaranteed contracts like in the NBA, NHL, NBL, MLB are fully
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed. That's the standard. And it's not
Yeah.
it's not like it's in the CBA that says that you got to get fully guaranteed contract. No, it's
Correct.
just the precedent. They,
Yep.
they expect it. And the NFL players had an opportunity to force it,
Yep.
but didn't happen. And I think the whole franchise tag has ruined it for the NFL players.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
True.
you brought up Aaron Rodgers. So finally, Aaron Rodgers is headed to the Jets, man. Finally.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like they're signing all his old Packer buddies too.
Right.
You know?
They're putting the band back together,
They put
right?
the band back together, and it's pretty sad because they're getting ready to get a quarterback and not win a Super Bowl. So that's my stance on it. So
Oh
I
man.
mean, I I think they'll be borderline number 2 in the division. I don't think they
Mm-hmm.
have enough to beat the Bills.
No.
Maybe not the Dolphins. We'll see. But all that effort and get right in the wild card is pretty a shame. But maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll surprise us.
Well, I agree with you. They will be a wild card team. However, I think they're going to be second in the division. I'm
Okay.
not certain of Tua's health.
Yeah.
I think that's a linchpin in the Dolphins season, whether or not this dude can stay healthy.
Yep.
And I think that's going to make them third in that division. Still could be a playoff team, third.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
maybe in AFC is tough, so that may be,
yeah. But come on, man. Come on, man. A motivated Aaron Rodgers.
He don't look motivated to me. He just
Well,
looks,
I mean, look, he said before last season he wanted out of Green Bay.
Yes.
He wanted out. To me, he wasn't motivated. I think what we saw last season, which he wasn't good,
Yeah.
was an unmotivated Aaron Rodgers who didn't perform well. At least that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. We're gonna see. He's got a better team on paper.
mm-hmm.
The rest of it kind of is up in the air. I don't know how motivated he is. I need to see when the season starts. If he
Right.
comes out guns blazing, then I'm like, okay, because he's been kind of quiet right now, a little bit.
Right.
Other than after he said, I want to play for the Jets. He hasn't really said anything.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
think that all became of, once he said that, it was just up to the Packers and the Jets to work out a deal.
Correct.
And
Correct.
right. And that's what kind of dragged on. What was the terms of this deal? How many draft picks were going to be there? And I think the really the real sticking point in this was 2024
Yeah.
draft pick being conditional. I think the Jets were like, okay, if this dude doesn't play and if he retires after the 23-24 season,
Hmm.
then I'm not giving you a draft pick in
Yeah.
2024. It's going to have to be conditional. Or it's not going to be a high draft pick, right? It's going to have to be a conditional. So they got a conditional second round pick that becomes a first if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays this season. So basically, he's got to play, not
I
retire,
I
not
I
be
I actually
injured.
think the Jets may have went into this saying how desperate are the Packers,
Mm-hmm.
right? To get rid of Aaron Rodgers. I think they kind of anticipated or wanted Aaron Rodgers to get so loud to get me out of here that the Packers would be desperate to get him out to where, what happens when you desperate, you start saying, all right, we'll take
Mm-hmm.
anything you give us just to get him out of here. But I think the sticking point also was when Aaron Rodgers was threatening to retire. He's like, I'm only going to play 1 year. I think that's when it kind of threw a curveball to say, all right,
Yep.
we need some incentive back, like you said. How long is Aaron Rodgers going to play here?
Right.
It sounds like they want him there for 2 years.
Right.
So and then the Packers turned around and gave Jordan Love the contract, which is
Right.
a year make it or break it type of contract.
I think the Packers made it known. Look,
Yeah,
Rodgers is not going to be able to play here anymore. His time is up. We're not going to pay him 60 million,
yeah,
and we got to get this young kid on the field. Aaron Rodgers has to be traded, but they didn't want to sound desperate.
correct. But I think what happened was, I think Aaron Rodgers, when he said he was going to retire, I think that was a shot at the Packers to say, "Hey,
Right.
I'm not playing for you guys. I'm going to retire." And probably when he retires, he probably would have had to sit out a year and then come back and play for the Jets. I
Right.
think that may have been what was going on. So he may play another. I think he'll play maybe another year
Oh, I think he
the
got another
Jets.
2 or 3 years left in it. So Packers extend Jordan Love's contract to 2024 rather than using fifth year option.
Okay, so it's a
Yeah.
1 year deal.
Okay. So it might be okay. I got you.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So,
Okay. But anyway, yeah, I mean,
which I think a lot of teams should probably do with quarterbacks.
yeah, especially a kind of prove it deal.
Correct,
But
correct,
but I
correct.
but I think there's a gamble you're taking. You might be setting yourself up for a very expensive deal. You might be setting yourself up for a Joe Flacco type deal where the guy
25
performs.
million.
The guy,
25 million now is nothing compared to what a lot of quarterbacks are making now. They're making double that now.
I know. Why not give him multi-year? So you got him locked in and just guarantee, 2, 3 years of it. And if he doesn't play well after 2, 3 years, because you're gonna give him 2, 3 years. If
You,
he you're gonna give that to him. So I would lock him up 5 years. I
but you
would
got to
lock
know
him
what
up.
you don't know what you're gonna get out of him. You don't know what you got with him right
You
now.
don't. You don't. But
Yeah. So you signed up to a 5 year deal.
you sign him for a 5 year deal, you guarantee two of them. And if he doesn't perform in those 2 years, you got an out. But if you do 5 years, you got him locked in. It's probably going to be super cheap because he hasn't proven anything. And you got him like I think the biggest mistake the Eagles made was not signing Jalen Hurts after last season when he got knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. To me, he had proved it that he should have been a starting quarterback. He already replaced Carson Wentz the year prior and played well. Then the following year, he leads them to the playoffs with not much with a rookie receiver. And it's like, sign him now, multi-year. Because the
So
next year,
the
if he leads them to the Super Bowl, now you got to pay some ridiculous amount of money.
so the year he replaced Carson Wentz, that was in the middle of the season. So you really only had a 5 to 6 game sample.
Right.
The next year, right? He led them to the playoffs, but I
Right.
still think there was some apprehension of like, okay,
That's good.
let's put a little bit more talent around him and see what he does, right? So I think they played it smart by not having to pay him very
No.
quickly because they went out and got AJ Brown, right? They paid him.
But see, that's the
They
mistake, Phil. Now you got to pay him $50 million a year. And like you always say, when you pay so much money to your quarterback, they hurt you in other areas.
yeah, but they locked up their other players though.
No, I think they had to let go some of their most expensive players and they're getting younger.
Yeah, but they replaced them with you see what they did in the draft? They replaced them
Yeah,
with
yeah,
better
replace them with
talent.
good players. Yeah, because they got
Yeah.
some good draft picks.
And
But
then, but I will say
but
this about the Packers. I think the Packers have had experience with this. Remember, they did this with Brett Favre, and they got Aaron Rodgers. Now
yeah,
they're kind of trying to do it again, but with Jordan Love. So I think
but
there's a little bit of a track record here.
yeah, but my point is, why not sign your young quarterback to a long-term deal?
Because you don't know what you have. You don't know if he's good
But
or not.
we knew Jalen Hurts was good. He already led his team to the playoffs. It was
They
like,
don't know
okay,
Jordan Love is good.
we don't. But if you're going to sign him now, just do the 5th year option. That would have been cheaper. Do the fifth
They
year
did.
option.
They
No,
did.
no,
Well,
they
well,
did an extension.
but the fifth year option probably only would have been 1 year. Let's say
It would have been cheaper.
maybe what $20 million. 1 year, 20 million if they picked up the fifth option. They paid him $5 million more.
Yeah, okay. I'm just
But you
saying.
know,
I'm,
it could be a Joe Flacco. Remember after the Super Bowl, they paid him all that money and he stuck it up. This could be a thing where he's not good.
it could be. It could be, but it's cheaper to sign him and give him a potential deal. We love you. Take this deal. It sounds really big. It's 5 years.
They would have to put a bunch of incentives in it, though.
5 years, so many million, and it's really just a 2 year deal. That's my whole point. It's like, why not sign your young quarterback based on their potential? Give them 2 years. They don't play well, then you move on. I don't know. That's what I would have done, at least with Jalen
Okay.
Hurts. Now, I think with Lamar, you was going to have to pay him regardless. He's already got an
But
MVP.
Jalen Hurts, he was an MVP candidate. He took him to the Super Bowl, so the
Yeah.
price went up. I
The-
agree with that. Maybe
yeah.
they waited a year too late to pay Jalen Hurts,
That's my
but
whole point.
they had to see what they got out of Jalen Hurts, and I don't think they saw it until after this year.
But and another thing could have been Jalen Hurts betting on himself, basically saying,
Correct.
"No,
True.
I don't want that contract." Because
True.
that's really what happened with Joe Flacco. He bet
Correct.
on himself. He was
But
like, "No."
Jalen Hurts was a second round pick. He wasn't making that much.
There you go.
So yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But while we're on the subject of young quarterbacks, so your guy was the first overall pick. I give you
Bryce
credit.
Young.
You predicted
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Once, and I think you and I we kind of texted on this. And I forget what the test is called.
And the C score, right? I mean the
yes,
score. Yeah, CSAT score.
That they test the NFL players on, particularly quarterbacks, that check their processing speed. It's kind of a test, I guess, to see how long they take to respond to certain answers. I guess that I don't know. Check their ability to process defense. It's stupid. But anyway,
well, no, I mean, hey,
CJ Stroud. I mean, I guess that's the only way they could tell how fast a quarterback processes information.
Correct.
I guess that's the whole idea behind it.
Yeah.
But what was coming out was that Stroud didn't do well on the test. And once that got out, it was like, oh, okay, Bryce Young, number one overall pick. Yeah. I see it. I think it's going to happen.
And you notice nobody else test scores came out.
Right, exactly. Nobody else test scores came out.
Nobody else test scores came out.
So I'm wondering if the Texans leaked it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You
think so? Yeah.
I don't know, but think about it. Like, why did that get leaked? Right? And why were the Texans so happy to get him? Because all along, you remember I sent you the text message. It was like, oh, the Texans put out a smoke screen. Because all they kept saying was they weren't interested in a quarterback.
Because when they drafted him, I was like, my immediate thought was, oh, they sent those 11 scouts down. Remember they sent those 11 scouts down to see him?
Yeah.
I was like, you don't send 11 scouts down there to go.
If you're not interested, right?
You're not interested, or you're not going to pick them.
Right.
So, yeah. And I think Carolina maybe did a smoke screen, maybe. Maybe to get the Texans to trade with Carolina to say, hey, you want CJ Stroud that bad, we got a chance to get him. We'll trade down to the number 2 pick, give us some extra picks. that could have been a game too, potentially, maybe.
Maybe. I think that the Texans planned the trade to move up. What is it? They moved up to the third pick, right?
Mm, mm.
So I think that was all part of the Texans' plan to build this smoke screen to try to, and maybe the smoke screen was to get CJ Stroud all alone, because why did this dude test scores get leaked?
Yeah.
Why were the Texans talking about they weren't interested in a quarterback and looking to trade out of the first round, and he
Yeah,
did?
they said he's uncoachable. Maybe that was. I think that was the Texans.
Yeah, and I mean, it's too bad that that happened to CJ Stroud, that he got talked badly about, but good on the Texans
Yeah,
on
and
creating all this.
I couldn't see the Texans trotting out Davis Mills again. I just
I
can't see
know,
it.
right? Exactly.
I just can't see it with a new
Right,
coach and a new culture. I just can't see it.
right, exactly. But I
Yeah, I can't
mean,
see it.
think about it. And the Texans got the quarterback of the future, and they got
Hmm.
an edge rusher to beat down on opposing quarterbacks. I
Yeah,
think the Texans made a fantastic.
I do think they made out, but I think the teams are going to regret not drafting Jalen Carter.
You think they're gonna regret not drafting Jalen Carter,
Yeah, I think
DT out
that.
of Georgia?
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah,
that would have been a better move for them.
yeah. Well, I know the Saints regret not getting him.
Yeah,
But
yeah. That would have been. I know you would have been. That would
oh,
have
I
been
would have loved it.
a. Oh,
I
don't
would have
worry, y'all
loved
got Chris Olave.
it. Yeah,
Chris
I
Olave.
guess so. And
Yeah,
Brian Breesy, I mean,
yeah,
like I told you before, I think the Saints had a solid draft. I
yeah,
think the players that they got, satisfied all the needs that we had.
yeah,
I don't know much about Brian Breesy. I mean, I didn't see much of him play. I knew he had a lot of injuries,
yeah,
but I know he was a really good talent. He's got the size, he's got the ability. He's 6'5" at defensive tackle.
yeah,
So I mean that the Saints D line should be one of the tallest D lines in in football, because it's not only
yeah.
just him. The kid that we got
Notre
from
Dame.
Notre
Yeah,
Dame.
yeah.
What is his name in the second round?
Foskey, Isaiah
Voss.
Foskey.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And what was
Isaiah
the kid y'all
Foskey.
drafted last year? Y'all drafted a D in last year, right?
Yeah, yeah. They all 6'5", 6'7".
Yeah,
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 yeah. So
yeah,
we got all really tall defensive line. So I kind of see the identity of what we're doing on defense. Want to not only put pressure on the quarterback, but also obstruct their view and
yeah,
knock down some balls. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm still jury's still out on Dennis Allen. That's just how I am until I see proof that this guy can coach.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I like what I mean. The Saints have always drafted well. Finally, diamonds in the rough. Michael Thomas was a second round pick. Alvin Kamara was a third round pick. So
Yeah.
our scouting department is really good finding good talent, not necessarily in the first round, but I
Yeah.
mean,
And developing them too.
and
Yep.
developing them and develop
Yep.
them. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a little upset about some of the players that we lost to the Falcons. So
Yeah.
I am. There's young players that we
Yeah.
developed that we took late in the rounds, that could really turn out to be good. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man. But I wanted to get back to the big overall draft, because give you credit for it. I mean, you called it
Yeah.
on this one. I mean, even though he wasn't the first overall pick, which I thought was ridiculous, what you were saying, but I didn't think this kid was going to go this high. Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson,
Yeah. I
you
actually
know,
think it's gonna be good.
uh, we'll
We'll
see.
see. We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be good right away. That's my whole
No.
hiccup. I think it's
No.
going to probably be another year or two. I think his attributes, his
Oh yeah.
ability
Oh yeah.
is phenomenal. I mean, he could
Oh yeah.
probably be a Patrick Mahomes type player that just
You
didn't
think
play
so?
well. I mean, he. Well, I'm not sure about the arm talent. Let me back up. Let me back up.
I think he might be a little Cam Newton. Maybe a little
You're
Cam
right,
Newton.
right, right. I,
Yeah.
I, I meant to say more like a Cam Newton or a Justin Fields type player.
Yeah. I think he's got a better maybe well, I wouldn't even say accuracy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about his
Yeah.
accuracy.
I think it's a yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
got a really strong arm. I wouldn't say he has
Correct.
great arm talent. Like Patrick Mahomes was dropping dimes at
Yeah.
Texas Tech. He just had no defense,
Correct.
and
Correct.
he had Cliff Kingsbury
Well,
as
the
his
Colts, I
coach.
mean, they're gonna be running the ball a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, they're gonna be running the ball a lot. We'll see about the Colts. I mean, that division is winnable.
yeah. It
Anybody can win that
is.
division. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You don't think it's Jacksonville's division?
Well, look at the way Jacksonville had to win last year. They went on a 5, 6 game winning streak last year to win that division. So it's not
Yeah,
like they were dominating. Tennessee was dominating that division.
I know, but
Look,
do you don't
it
think
looked.
Jacksonville has turned the corner?
I mean, I turned the corner, yes, but make a leap all of a sudden, winning the division outright, no.
I mean, they got a coach that we've seen it from.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I need to see one more. I need to see them this year. See what they do this year.
Okay. I mean, hey, you were all on the Jaguars
I
last year.
was, I
You were
was all
on
on the
them. You made
Jaguars,
a
but
believer out of me
I'm
because
a
that,
proponent when teams have the blueprint out on you. They have the blueprint out on you. You got to be able to adjust.
yeah, and if they got the blueprint on them, and if you can't stop it, you can't stop it. And I think the Jaguars have a good philosophy in place. They got a top tier quarterback. And when I say top
Yeah,
tier, I
I
mean
agree. I agree with that. I think
yeah,
they have the best
a
quarterback in
quarterback,
the division. Is the
probably
best
the best
quarterback in the
quarterback in
division?
the division. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
you think
Yeah.
Tannehill is better,
No, I think he's on his way out.
unless you think Anthony Richardson is better.
He has. I haven't seen anything from him.
Okay,
So yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So the Jaguars are probably the best, have the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah.
What are the Titans doing? I mean, how many first round
Uh,
draft pick quarterbacks do they have? Or right? That's
well, they didn't. They
Tannehill.
didn't get. They didn't get Malik Willis last year in the first round. They got him in the third, and then they got
Oh,
Will
okay,
Levis. Will Levis in the second, which is
right.
wow. That speaks volume about Malik Willis. But you spoke about Malik Willis being bad last year, so you know what I mean. So
He had a
uh,
game where he didn't even throw for 100 yards.
I don't know. I don't. I'm a little bit confused about Tennessee right now. They traded AJ Brown.
I don't know.
They were. I don't. And then I didn't talk about trading. Um, I forgot his
Oh
name.
yeah,
Is
you're
it
talking about King
Derrick
Henry.
Henry?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Derrick
talking
Henry.
about trading. So I think they're trying to maybe blow this thing up.
I think it's time. I think it's time. I think it's time to make a fresh start. Or unless you're going to go into the season with Will Levis at quarterback and Derrick Henry leading the way, but you're wasting Henry's
Yeah,
few
yeah.
years that he has left.
They should have
Uh,
traded Tannehill last year. I think this is one of those situations where they kept him too long.
if they didn't have Tannehill last year, they wouldn't have won the games that they did win.
He
I think you got to have a transition. You got to have a transition, and I think Tannehill is there to make that handoff to the next quarterback.
obvious is not Malik Willis.
It's definitely not Malik Willis.
Not Malik Willis, and I was a Malik Willis fan when he came out, but
Me too. Me too. But I mean, he played at a
uh,
small school.
I,
He
I
played
don't,
at
I don't,
Liberty.
yeah, I don't know if it's the what they're asking him to do. They're not giving him enough time. It's just not going well for him.
Yeah, it's not.
And then they draft the quarterback in the second round, which might get some playing time this year. If Tennessee has a bad year, they start out the gate 1-4, 0-5, somewhere around there.
yeah,
Will Levis is getting some time.
yeah. I mean, Malik Willis. I'm a firm believer that you got to give a young quarterback 2-3 years. But my God, when I saw him
Yeah,
play last year, I was like, wow, what's going on? And maybe he needs another year. To develop
yeah,
to the NFL standards, and that's probably all it is.
yeah. I see a little
So
Tyrod Taylor in him
yeah,
potentially.
yeah. I don't know what he is until he gets that extra talent. I mean, a grooming from the
Yeah,
NFL. I mean, we've
yeah,
seen it. We've seen it from Josh Allen. He didn't look all that great his first year. Josh Allen, you know, uh, Jalen Hurts.
yeah,
There's plenty of quarterbacks that first year they look rough. Like Jalen Hurts
yeah,
couldn't throw a deep ball his first year.
yeah.
This is like that was his biggest weakness. The Cowboys picked all over him on that. And
Yep,
the following year, dude was throwing the deep ball.
yep,
And it was
yep,
looking fantastic that third year when he took him to the Super Bowl. So
yep, yep.
maybe Malik Willis just needs another year. You know what? I'm sticking to my my belief system. You got to give him
Uh,
2 3 years.
I think if Will Levis plays this year and he plays pretty well, Tannehill's gone, Malik Willis may be gone too.
Yeah, well, you're right. I think they're making it a competition on it. I think the Titans are doing like what old boy Herb from last year said about the Commanders. He was like, just get a bunch of quarterbacks and make them compete for it. He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
he,
yeah,
he was suggesting that the Commanders draft a quarterback,
yeah.
draft
But
Hendon Hooker, and just
oh
make them
yeah,
compete.
oh yeah, yeah. But my thing is that Will Levis was projected to go, in the first round, top 10.
Right.
Why did he drop? Why are teams passing on him?
Right. But those
You
those
know?
are the perfect quarterbacks to get. Like if I'm a team that's not that bad, that it wasn't as bad as the Bears were or the
Yeah,
Panthers or whatever to get that number one overall pick. Me, I would want to be the team late in the first round that gets that quarterback that drops, that gets that Aaron Rodgers, that gets that Lamar Jackson, that get that quarterback that falls, that Ben Roethlisberger that falls late.
yeah. But the Colts, who needed a quarterback, passed on him. He dropped.
Yeah, hey, you saw the Bears pass on Deshaun Watson and
Yeah,
Patrick
and
Mahomes
Patrick Mahomes.
for
Yeah,
Mitchell
Mitchell
Trubisky.
Trubisky. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 49ers with Trey Lance.
And the 49ers with Trey Lance.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
foolish.
yeah, yeah,
You,
yeah,
you are taking a risk.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
That's true. That's true.
So I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have went for Anthony Richardson with the fourth overall pick. I think it's a risk.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll see. I mean, he went to Florida, and he's a
Yeah.
very talented young man, and he couldn't get it to work in Florida with that level of talent. I got a lot of
Yeah.
questions. I got a lot of
Yeah.
questions about that.
Yeah. And he's
You
going to a Colts team that's kind of similar to Florida.
know,
Kind of
I don't know,
similar.
but in what way? Losing?
Yeah, losing, you know, they don't have the best team right now. They're rebuilding.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, one thing I can say about Will Levis, and I don't know if you saw that text that I sent you.
uh-huh.
What was up with the rotating girlfriends with this dude, man?
Well, I think the girlfriends rotated him. I think they probably like, you're not a first round quarterback. That's money out of my pocket, and I'm out of here. So,
you,
you know,
you know what? I didn't look at it that way. Yeah,
yeah,
but that's a good point. I mean, the
yeah,
first one was probably like, all right, well, your first round draft pick, and he kept dropping and dropping. And it's like,
yeah,
oh, I only
yeah,
date first round draft pick.
yeah,
The
yeah.
second round draft pick girl came and hugged him up and tried to comfort him because
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. So maybe that's what it was because he had like three of them there.
yeah, yeah. He had one for first round, second round, third round.
Yeah,
So he was like, all right, I didn't go to the third round, so hey, I gotta
yeah,
let you go.
yeah. Right. Oh, maybe you could
You
just
can go
come
date
tag
Malik
along.
Willis.
Yeah, meet me in Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I thought that
yeah,
that was the highlight of the draft for me. I was like, yo,
yeah,
what is going on here? And then, social media, they pointed it out. I was like, okay, I wasn't crazy. Dude
yeah.
had three women sitting around him while he waiting to get drafted.
Well, why do you think he dropped?
Why do I think he dropped? Well, he didn't
Yeah,
perform well his last year at, was it
Penn
Kentucky?
State. Oh well. Oh, I'm sorry. Kentucky. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we went to Kentucky.
yeah,
Um,
Kentucky.
yeah, he didn't perform well. He had a lot of injuries. Um, he had a lot of injuries that last year. I think he missed a couple of games. And then
Mhm.
the year prior, which was his better season that got him the attention. I mean, it wasn't all that great.
Yeah,
He played well. He showed a lot of moxie and ability there, but it wasn't like out superior numbers or whatnot. But
yeah. They say he should have came out last year.
he should have.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, that was the main thing. So,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the injuries was one of the reasons he dropped.
yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
We'll see. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, but I think it's a good gamble for Tennessee, and it's a good place for him
Yeah,
because he
because
gets to
they'll
sit
be
behind.
patient with him.
They'll be patient with him,
Yeah, they'll be patient with him. Yep.
right? He doesn't go into the season as the main guy like Anthony Richardson. is probably the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts going into the season.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if he not at the first game of the season, he will be a few games in after they lose him.
Yeah.
But anyway, what did the Vikings do, man?
We got a wide receiver, Jordan Addison, great pick. I know Justin Jefferson's happy. I like the second round pick, Micaiah Blackman. That was a good pick. Um, I like Jay Ward from LSU. He was up and down over the season at LSU. I think that's a good move because I think Harrison's gonna be gone. Uh, I like the defensive tackle we got. I felt like we should have got one earlier in the draft. Jared Hall, he's not good. He's not taking Kirk Cousins' spot. I think he's going to be a backup throughout his career. And I'm not too familiar with the running back from UAB. I've heard of his name, not too familiar with him. I think he will be probably second or third in the depth chart because I think they're probably getting ready to trade Dalvin Cook pretty soon.
Yeah, I think
if not during the season. So overall, I think it was a pretty good draft. I think we're preparing for life after Kirk Cousins, unless they re-sign him tomorrow, and we'll see. This is make or break for him. Make a break, in my opinion, for him anyway. I think we should get rid of him anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, you get what you get, what you got. Yeah.
Make a break after
Oh
the
yeah.
13-3 season.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you this, my Saints, they filled all their needs. And kind of, as I alluded to early on, we needed defense alignment, right? And they did that.
Yeah.
They got defensive tackle and they got the edge rusher. But we also needed a running back. We needed to get younger at running back. I don't know how much longer, Mark Ingram has.
Correct.
Correct. But we went in the third round. We got Kendrick Miller out of TCU. I think he's a solid back. Pick. I think it was a good pick. It gets us younger at running back. We added off as a tackle. I'm not quite sure why we got a quarterback, but we did. We got a young quarterback in the fourth round. We added a safety. We needed to get younger at that. I don't know how much more Tyrann Matthews has, at strong safety, but we needed to get younger. We lost a lot of youth at safety, man. We let a lot of our young, good safeties go. Marcus Williams is now playing in Baltimore. And oh man, what's his name? God dog it. My other safety. We had Marcus Williams, we had another guy. We let him go to Cincinnati. But anyway, yeah, we let a lot of safeties go. So I was happy about that. And I really like the A.T. Perry pick out of Wake Forest. 6th round pick. I think it's a real good value pick. He could potentially be a solid contributor for the team. This kid's got a lot of talent.
You guys develop wide receivers really good.
Yeah, we do. And try to take advantage of, some of these guys that, that fall in the draft. I mean, Marcus Colston was a 7th round draft pick. So, this guy's got good size, 6'3.5", 200 pounds. So he's a big boy. So not a lot of speed, but, big boy should be able to be a solid contributor to fall into this offense. Hopefully Derek Carr can take advantage of it. So I'm happy about it. But I'm still waiting to see. Like I told you before, I'm not exactly sure what our philosophy is.
The identity, right?
What's the identity of especially my offense? I'm not exactly sure what our identity is. I assume we're going to be more of a West Coast short passing offense, a timing offense. Now that we've sort of transition from Jameis Winston when we were trying to throw it down the field. We're trying to stretch the field with him. I don't think Derek Carr is that type of quarterback that's going to try to stretch the field.
Yeah. I think it's going to be short passes.
You think it's going to be short passes? I think so too.
5 and 10. Didn't you guys get a new offensive coordinator also?
No.
Okay. Same guy. Okay.
Same guy.
Yeah, it's definitely probably going to be 5 and 10 yard. I hope you guys don't start coming out there running Wildcat again.
Well, I mean, I think that's still part of the plan. You still got Taysom Hill on the roster.
Yeah.
So it's
you think they're going to cut him this year?
No.
Okay.
If I don't think they're going to cut him, but who knows? The Saints of the West might come and trade for him.
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah.
if Sean Payton is purging coaches, players, the Denver Broncos are becoming the Saints of the West. We already got the Saints of the East in Philadelphia, but
Yeah.
now you got Sean Payton grabbing players. He already traded for our tight end during the draft.
Wow.
So yeah, so
Wow.
so I wouldn't be surprised when he comes for Taysom Hill to
Yeah.
play in Denver.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Adam Trotman. Adam Trotman,
Okay.
he kind of brokered this trade to Denver. So yeah,
Oh.
yeah, he wanted
Oh.
out.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, now we're short on tight ends. That's the one thing that kind of came up. We lost the tight end, so now we're short on tight ends, which we should have drafted one. So maybe we're going to
Yeah.
get one undrafted. I don't recall if we got one in
Yeah.
undrafted tight end. So
Yeah. I didn't hear. I didn't see anything.
it's possible we did. I mean, I may have missed that. But yeah, man. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's gonna be an interesting season going in. I can't wait to see what happens with these quarterbacks, and I want to see how the Texans perform. I'm very interested to see how the Texans perform because they got a good chance of winning their division.
Yeah, that division's winnable. So,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Well, I
I,
like
I
D'Amico Ryans as a coach too.
yeah, we'll see about CJ Stroud.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
see.
see.
Let's move on to the NBA, man, because
Oh yeah,
big news, man, came out yesterday. Joel Embiid, winner, most valuable player,
yep.
NBA's most valuable player, man. I felt like this kid, he deserved it. Definitely this year, he deserved it. And I was afraid the NBA was going to pass on it.
I did too. I thought Jokic was gonna win it again.
Me too, me too. But I
I
think
thought.
I think what helped him was the fact that Jokic didn't play the last couple of games of the season. The
You think so?
I think that when the
Really?
Nuggets kind of turned it down a little bit
Okay.
because they had the conference won.
Yeah, yeah. And he goes last couple games. He had a couple 50-point games.
Embiid,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
maybe so,
yeah.
maybe that played into it too, and I think
Well,
that won it for him.
there was a joke going around about how I think Perk came out and said, "Well, Embiid deserves the MVP if he
He
doesn't
did.
win it. It's race and racist and all that." So I think that
Oh,
there's this thing, going around that he kind of started this and all that. So Embiid, to me, I think he had a great season to
I think
me.
so too.
But I think once again, man, it's like I like the way Jokic played this year. I
Me
like the way he
too.
plays. I like the way he plays. And if he would have won it a third year, I wouldn't have had a problem with
I
it.
wouldn't have had a problem with it either.
But big ups to Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? I just feel
Yeah,
like this part of me feels like, all right, they just wanted to do something different. You know,
I don't
they
think
just,
these conspiracies and stuff like that. I don't think.
yeah,
I think Embiid deserved it. I mean, we talked about it on this show. I was like, the question was who's going to win, and I said, well, who I think is going to win it, who I feel should deserves it. I said Embiid deserves it, but I
yeah,
felt like Jokic was going to win it because Jokic's
yeah,
team was number one in the West.
yeah.
They had the best record. I think they
I
had the
would have been
best
happy
score.
they did a co MVP. I would have been happy with that.
No, I wouldn't have been happy with that. Come on, man. No damn participation trophies here. I didn't like
Yeah.
it when Peyton Manning and
Oh, and
the Titans quarterback.
uh
God dog it.
Peyton
I'm, I'm I can't. I'm
Titans
blanking on.
quarterback. It was a
Yeah, he
Titans
was the
quarterback.
Titans quarterback. Yeah, but anyway, I was his name will come to me.
Not Vince Young, was it?
Steve McNair.
McNair,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Steve McNair and Peyton Manning had to share the trophy.
Oh yeah.
Like, man, get out of here, man. This participation trophy stuff. But pick one
I think it's a
person
little
and be done
different for
with it.
football. Yeah, yeah,
No, it ain't
yeah.
different. There's only one winner. You go to the Super Bowl, you don't get both of them trophies. There's no tie in Super Bowls. No tie in the
Yeah,
NBA.
that's
Even
true.
even in Major League Baseball and hockey, there's no tie in the championship game. You
That's
gotta
true.
win it. Find
That's
a
true.
winner. Look, writers, flip a coin and name me an MVP. So I don't want to hear that about sharing it. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
anyway.
true.
But anyway, yeah, no, I think Embiid deserved it. I wouldn't have been mad if Jokic won it, and I don't care what Perk said. That had nothing to do with
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jokic race. I mean, his team was the number one team in the
In the
NBA,
West. Yeah.
and I think they had the best record in
Yeah,
the
best
NBA.
record. Yeah, they're the best record. That's
They
true.
had the
Yeah.
best record.
So
So
yeah.
the
Big
best
ups to
player,
Embiid.
yeah, but big ups to
Yeah.
Embiid. He was putting up ridiculous numbers. I mean, he was performing
Yeah.
out of his mind.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he got it. Um, yeah,
And,
that's who I
and look at
predict.
what Joker's doing in the playoffs now.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
he up 2-0 now, man. Come
And
on,
maybe
man.
maybe 3-0 coming soon.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be mad, man, because I mean, right now, and I'm just mad because Mike Malone was an assistant coach with the Hornets and Pelicans. Oh, and I
Okay.
was saying then, man, we need to get this guy as the coach. And when he got fired from Sacramento, here's our chance. Bring him in as the coach.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah.
he he's a master of getting the best out of his big men. He know some
Okay.
kind of way. I don't know what his magic is. He is the big man whisperer. So it was a blessing for Jokic to be on that team in Denver with Mike Malone as the head coach, because that's what he does. He did it in, I think, with Sacramento with Cousins. It's just
Okay.
that's what he specializes in.
Yeah.
So this is why you've
Yeah.
seen the
Yeah. I
greatness from
remember that.
Jokic.
I
Yeah,
remember that. Yep.
yeah,
Yep. You're right.
yeah, yeah. That's his specialty. So that's why I wanted him in New Orleans with Anthony Davis.
Yeah. But he's doing his thing in Denver. They got a good chance.
They got a 2-0 lead over the Suns. They crushed the
It,
Timberwolves. They are making this look easy.
oh yeah. I think the Phoenix, they gotta win. They better be careful. This thing could be a gentleman's sweep.
Uh, Chris Paul is hurt.
Never count out the rate Devin Booker though.
But that's what I was telling you. I was like, you're playing with not Devin Booker, but you're playing with older players who have had significant injuries. I don't know if Chris Paul has had significant injuries, but he has had nagging injuries.
Is he gonna be out? Is he out for game 3?
I hadn't seen whether he was out
Yeah,
yet.
I haven't seen it yet. But I mean, they're not playing well with him.
Right, right. So yeah, I just don't think the Chris Paul factor. I knew that the Nuggets were like an injury away. I
Yeah.
mean, not the Nuggets. The Suns were an injury away of having a bad season or not finishing the playoffs
See,
because
day to day. Yeah, day to day.
day to day,
Left groin strain. Yeah.
and that was an issue of one playoffs before. I think when he was in Houston, he had a growing issue, and the Rockets were in the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors and had the Warriors on the ropes, and Chris Paul pulled his groin, couldn't play.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's happening again. So
Yep.
the Nuggets, man, with Jamal Murray out there, with Michael Porter Jr.,
Yep.
you know, Aaron Gordon, and of course Jokic, and then they got Jeff Green on the bench coming in there. This
Yeah.
team is
He
loaded,
see he seems rejuvenated.
Yeah, and well, he's
Yeah.
always been a good. He's always proved to be a good uh bench player coming
Yeah.
off, and Caldwell coming in there.
Oh,
I mean,
Caldwell Pope.
yeah, Caldwell Pope coming
Yep.
in there, giving them offense. At the shooting guard position.
Yep.
This team, they are loaded.
Yeah,
So
loaded.
they're
They're
loaded,
playing
man.
good.
Yeah.
And Phoenix doesn't have any answers.
No, and don't have a bench.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah, this may be a gentleman's sweep coming.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, but we'll we'll see.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about the Warriors King series. Come on,
I,
man.
I was right about this one.
What'd
I
you
was
say?
right about this one. Warriors in 7. Check the tape.
Okay.
Check the tape.
I don't think I
That's it.
disagreed with you. I
Check
may
the
have
tape.
said 6. I may have
Yeah,
said
I think
6.
you said 6. I said
I may have
7.
said the Warriors in 6, but I knew the Kings were going to give the Warriors a run for their money.
But I think that series concerned me because the Warriors, man, they they're gonna have to do something about Jordan Poole next year. Trade him, make some moves. He just,
You think so?
yeah, man. I don't. I just,
He's the future.
Yeah, but his immaturity is showing.
He thought he was in, but what?
You see that shot he took yesterday. Him and
Yeah, he had to
Draymond
take
not
that
getting
shot.
along. Steve Kerr has had to put him on the bench a couple times. He hasn't shown up in the fourth quarter. It's been a lot of undisclosed things. I don't know what game you're watching, but
I don't know,
you
give you
know,
watch it. I thought he played well. I thought he played
well,
well.
he played well when Draymond was out. Remember, he got suspended. He played well on that
Yeah,
game.
I,
I
I,
don't
I
know,
think
man.
to me, Draymond hurts him, and here's
You think
why.
so?
Yes, here's
Okay,
why. He won't take the shot. They are literally leaving him open, and he won't take the shot.
that's not his game.
Well, if that's not your game, that makes it easy for the defense.
Yeah, but he's getting rebounds. He's getting steals. He's playing defense. I mean, that's his role.
You think 4 rebounds is a lot of rebounds? He
Uh,
he
uh,
he'll have like he had like what Charles Barkley would call a triple single, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, a triple single. That's what he had.
I
And
mean, who else on the court can do what he's doing for the Warriors?
I mean, look, he sets good picks. Yeah, he's willing to give the ball up to Steph and
Yeah,
play,
yeah,
but dude, they literally had to result to all 3 point shots to stay in this game. Like this,
yeah.
what I saw was a team that was struggling to score in the paint and had to
Well,
launch.
they've always had struggle scoring the paint.
Well, especially when you get Looney and Green that won't take the shot in the paint.
Looney and Green are kind of the same player, except Looney would do the
Looney
dirty
is a
work down
much
in the
better
paint.
rebounder.
Yeah, much better rebounder. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Looney had 10 points, 23 rebounds. I think
yeah.
Looney gives you that
He-
dimension. At least he'll go down and bang and get you some rebounds. Like Draymond's not doing that. Draymond
no,
is adding another dimension as a dribbler up the court. Uh, Somebody that's looking for Steph and Clay and setting picks for him to give him the shots. But
yeah,
I think when teams key on that, like the Lakers did, they shut that down. I mean, they made it. I mean, I can't say they shut Clay and Steph down, but they made it hard for them. Like Steph and Clay could have went for 50 each if 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 LeBron and AD wasn't blocking a lot of shots and giving them trouble.
So you're so it sounds like you're predicting the Lakers to win this series.
No, no,
Oh wow,
no.
wow.
I'm thinking. I thought one thing that did work was having Draymond come off the bench. You know, they
Which
did
I don't
it.
think is going to happen again.
I think they will. I think it will. I think
Okay,
Draymond. I heard Draymond speak about it. He said, "Man, these guys played good. They play well without me. I'm more than willing to come off the bench." And that's the thing I like about Draymond. And that's
okay,
why I think he should retire a Warrior, is because he's a team player. He knows his limitations, and he knows when he hurts the team. And I think that hurts him with him not taking open shots. You got
mm,
to take it.
mm,
If
mm.
if
Okay.
if you're gonna allow them to play multiple defenders on a single player, you're hurting them. And but I thought it was better when he came off the bench.
Mm. Okay.
So we'll see. I mean, Jordan Poole had 21 points. I mean, his biggest mistake, he was 6 of 11 from three. He was
Okay.
6 of 10 before he missed that long three with 10 seconds left. He had to
Yeah,
take that three.
that was a terrible shot. He could have got a better shot than that. I don't mind him taking it, but that was a terrible shot.
Why do you think? Because it was further away from the 3 point line.
Yeah, it could have had a set shot or yeah, 10 seconds left. Come on now.
Well, they double teamed Steph, so they forced the ball out of his hands, which was great. I mean, I don't understand why all teams don't do that. I'm
I
serious.
mean, well, pass the ball out and come back and get it. Like move around.
Look, man, last few minutes of any game, Steph Curry, LeBron James, they're not going to beat me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna double team them, and I'm gonna force you to get the ball to somebody else, and get it to Jordan Poole. And if he makes the three, God bless you. Shake
yeah,
your hand. Great job. Get one. But Clay, Steph, they're not going to shoot that. I'm going to leave Draymond Green wide open to take the 3 point shot. And if
yeah,
he makes it, I'm going to shake his hand. That's what
yeah.
I would do if I was playing. If the Lakers had 10 seconds to hit a game tying three, LeBron James is not seeing that ball. Sorry, LeBron. Sorry, AD. You're not seeing it either. Brian Reeves. God bless you. If you make
Yeah.
that three to tie it, I'll shake your hand. But
Yeah.
LeBron's not shooting it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. True. True.
Yeah. And that's what the Lakers did.
So I wanted to kind of point out this as you notice all the playing teams are still in except Atlanta and Minnesota. So, you still got Miami, you still got the Lakers. So, I just wanted to point that out, kind of bring that to
Oh
your
my
attention.
God.
The playing teams are still, in fact, they're winning Miami and New York are tied. And back, Miami won their first round series. The Lakers won that first round series. So I just wanted to kind of bring that to you. We're not talking about it. This could be another topic for another day.
No, we could address this because obviously you really don't understand the play.
Oh,
I'm just saying. I mean, I just don't. I don't think you quite understand it.
I just addressed the obvious, and here we go. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Okay, so let's address it. Let's first explain the play.
Okay.
All right. So normally the playoffs is the number one team in the conference all the way down to the 8th team.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
1 through 8. The NBA came up with this foolishness called the play-in, where the 9th and the 10th team in the conference gets to play against the 7 and 8 team, the teams that would have been in the damn playoffs without the play. Is that correct?
So what you're saying is you feel like Miami and the Lakers would have won regardless?
Yes, they were already in the playoffs.
I think the extra game helped them as far as the rhythm. As far as the rhythm, not having to rest. But Milwaukee took a long rest. Even the Warriors, they had a grueling series. The Lakers still had a rest before playing the Warriors.
It was a waste. The Hawks and the Heat were already in the playoffs. Okay. They were the 7 and 8 seed. The Lakers and the Timberwolves were already in the playoffs.
I know, but
they had to prove what we already knew.
Okay.
That's what happened.
I know, but I'm just stating that the play-in teams are deep in the playoff run.
The play-in teams that had already secured, like, under previous years, prior to the play-in games, previous years, playoffs, these teams would have already been in the playoffs. They wouldn't have to prove it.
The result is debatable.
No. Look, the NBA has a system to determine who's the 7 and 8 seed. It's done in 82 games.
Correct. Yes.
And they use head-to-head. They use division winners. There's all this type of stuff. Record is the main thing that they use to determine who's the 7 and 8 seed. I think that makes sense to me. I don't know why you need 2 more games to determine this when you had 82 of them to decide it. And the 82 games told us that the Lakers and the Timberwolves were the playoff teams.
Okay.
Now, I granted the Timberwolves, I think they were the 9th seed. The Pelicans were the 8th seed. But we knew the Pelicans didn't deserve to be there. And the Timberwolves got in. I think that's how it went. No, I'm sorry. No, I am correct.
10th seed.
Seed,
I think.
They were the 9th seed. They were the 9th seed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they were.
But I think momentum had a factor in this. Because they played before they played the quote unquote air quotes playoff teams, right? So they had 2 extra games. Then they played Memphis. The momentum is there. Memphis been out almost a week.
So you're telling me the Lakers with 2 Hall of Fame players were questionable against the Memphis Grizzlies? That this was supposed to be a steamroll game for the Memphis Grizzlies?
Not a steamroll.
We all knew that the Lakers being
okay. What about Miami and Milwaukee? You said there was no chance that Milwaukee was losing this series. You said that.
Well, I knew Miami was going to play well. I mean, they got Eric Spoelstra as the coach, and you got Jimmy Butler. I knew
the Bucks got Bodenholzer. They've won a title before.
I'll have to check the record, but I know I said the Hawks. I told you the Hawks will probably get 1 or 2 games out of it because Trae Young is going to start shooting threes from half court. But they didn't. I knew that, I thought Minnesota was going to get blown out by the Nuggets, which they did get one win against the Nuggets, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the Nuggets.
I thought Minnesota would give. I actually back in my mind I thought Minnesota was gonna upset the Nuggets because
I felt like Minnesota didn't have a snowball chance in hell
I thought
of
they had
of,
somewhat of a
of
chance.
winning
I
that
thought
series. No
Gobert
chance.
and Eddie Edwards were gonna, but
Nope, no chance. The only team that disappointed me in these playoffs were the Cavaliers. I did not
ooh,
see the Knicks beating the Cavaliers. That was the
me
only
neither.
disappointment.
Me neither.
Only disappointment. I
Me
wasn't
neither.
really disappointed about the Heat beating the the Bucks because I
Jalen
knew the
Brunson
Heat.
has been playing out of his mind. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah. I
mean,
didn't see that coming. I didn't
I
see
didn't see
that.
that coming either. I didn't think the Knicks were that good, but the Knicks are really good.
Yeah.
So, so
I think they're gonna lose to Miami though. I do think that. I think they're gonna
well,
lose to Miami.
well. I mean, they got the win last night. I mean, Miami.
Barely.
But
Barely.
Jimmy, yeah, they did barely. But Jimmy
Jimmy
Bucket,
Butler didn't play.
he didn't play. He's
Exactly.
hurt. He's hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't trust
So,
the Knicks right now.
well, I mean, it's tied now, so we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
I do think the Knicks they need one more score.
Yeah, yeah, they need somebody to help Jalen Brunson out.
Yeah, because the jury's out on RJ Barrett, and I think, Julius Randle, they need another.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like the Donovan Mitchell, I think that would have been perfect for them. They got Donovan Mitchell.
Well, I don't think they would have got Brunson if they had got Donovan Mitchell.
Well, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
I don't
But
think
I
they
didn't
would.
know Jalen Brunson would explode like this.
Well, I didn't think he was going to. I knew he was a good player because I liked what he played in Dallas, and I thought Dallas made a mistake by letting him go.
Yeah,
But
they traded him. They basically traded him for Kyrie Irving.
but I think let's. I don't think it was totally Dallas's fault, and I forgot about this when I mentioned this last week
Uh-huh.
that Jalen Brunson's dad is either a scout or coach with the Knicks.
He is. He is. He
Yeah.
is.
So it was kind of he's going to the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
wasn't going to resign with Dallas. Like he was going to be with his father. So
Yeah.
I think that was the good thing for the Knicks that they had an inside track on him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I mean, who you think is going to win this series between the Knicks and the Heat?
I think Heat and 6.
Heat and 6. Okay.
Heat and 6. Yeah.
I'm really impressed by the Knicks. I like how they play at home. I mean, Thibodeau as the coach, they're going to play some good defense. They're going to play with a lot of spirit and passion. I'm going to go with the Knicks in 7. And
Ooh,
why?
Okay.
Because the 7 game has to be played in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you think there's some parity with that?
I think that's going to help the Knicks. But you know what? I could be totally wrong on this because one thing you got to keep in mind when great players play in Madison Square Garden, they go completely off. And I could truly see Jimmy Buckets going off in game 7 with 50, 60 points. Because that's what happens, right? I saw Steph Curry go off for his first 50 in New York. MJ's done it. Kobe, Reggie Miller. They seem to go off in Madison Square Garden. So I wouldn't be surprised.
So Knicks in 7, I got Heat in 6.
All right. What about the Warriors and Lakers?
This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Lakers up 1-0.
I'm gonna say Lakers in 7. It's gonna be Lakers in 7, and that 7th game is gonna be so close.
That 7th game is in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's tough. Lakers in 7. I'm gonna say I might change it next week. We'll see. We'll see. Depends. What are you thinking?
Going into this series, I was all Warriors, Warriors. But man,
they concern me when they play the Kings. I'm concerned.
Well, what worries me is that they have no inside presence as far as scoring. Like Draymond won't even take easy like layups. He drives to the basket, got an easy layup, and then he kicks it out. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. Oh, he was on the side of the basket, and Anthony Davis was backing off of him. And he finally took the shot, which was just a easy, like 4-foot shot. And he made it. And it was like, dude, you should be shooting that every time.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about the lack of scoring inside and Steph and Clay having to do everything and most of it from the outside because they can't go to the basket with Anthony Davis patrolling under them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hate saying this, and I know Joey the GM is listening, but I think the Lakers are gonna win this series. I truly believe that.
In 7?
No.
Ooh.
I was gonna say 6.
Woo!
I know.
Wow.
I like the way the Lakers are playing defense.
Joey the GM's gonna call you tomorrow.
I know. I'm gonna hear about it from him.
Wow.
I told you. You said the Lakers were. I never said the Lakers weren't going to do anything in the playoffs. I just don't see the Lakers going to the championship. I don't see it.
I actually see it now. If they can get rid of Phoenix,
They're not beating Denver. Not beating Denver.
Denver's got a chance to win it all, though.
Yes.
I would say that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think Denver's going to the championship.
Milwaukee's out.
I had to see Denver against the Suns. The Suns were the only team I was concerned about in the Western Conference. The Suns and Denver to me, right?
Yeah, there goes my prediction. Suns are not going to make it.
and now I had to see Denver up against the Suns, and they're handling business against the Suns. They're proving to me, no, the Nuggets are the best team in the Western Conference. And I think if they play the Lakers, I think they got a good mix of talent from skill, ball passing, cuts with Jokic and Murray, and then you got a mix of athleticism with Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Green
Jokic,
coming off the bench. Well, Jokic is more of a skilled passing big man that can score. He can drop 30, 40 on you real easy, but he's not doing it with great athleticism. So you're going to get problems from Anthony Davis, but they got Aaron Gordon to match that, give you some athleticism. So I think
Aaron Gordon is shooting threes.
Yeah, and he's shooting threes. If you're gonna leave him open, he's gonna take the shot. He's not gonna stand there like Draymond Green and then hold the damn ball out and wait for Steph to come get it to set the pick. Aaron Gordon's gonna take that shorter 3-point shot from the corner. Take it.
Yep.
So I got the Lakers winning this. And with that said, I mean, we ain't got to go into this, but I got the Nuggets beating the Suns. I got them beating them in. It depends on if Chris Paul is out for an extended amount of time. I say in 5.
Oof.
With Chris Paul, 6.
Well, I mean, I gotta pick Phoenix. I chose them to go to the Western Conference Finals, so I ain't got no choice. I gotta say Phoenix in 7. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I've been preaching, harping on the Suns.
Yes, you have.
I gotta stick with the Suns. Suns in 7.
I mean, you ain't gotta stick with your guns on there. Don't make a fool of yourself, man.
I know, man. But at least if they lose, I'll say, well, he picked the Suns. They can't turn my word on him.
Yeah.
What about the East?
So I mean, we already talked about the Heat and the Knicks.
Yep.
What about the Sixers and the Celtics?
Boston.
So let me just say this. Celtics just won. They just beat the Sixers
by 40.
Yeah. Close.
Yeah, I think it was by like 36 or something like that. Yeah, I saw it. Man, I don't know, man. I've said this in the beginning. I don't trust Philly. I think they came back down to earth today. I don't trust Boston either. I just don't trust. I don't trust Boston either. I don't trust Boston either.
Wow, I love Boston.
I don't know. I just don't trust Boston. They're not consistent. They let bad teams hang around. They don't have that tenacity. Jason Tatum to me is just, once again, he's not proving he's the alpha. That's just a number of things with Boston. Same thing with Philly. James Harden, Joel Embiid is injured every other game. Tyrese Maxey is stepping up. Tobias Harris, inconsistent. So I think these teams are kind of a mirror image of themselves. This is a tough one. I think Boston in 6.
Okay. Boston in 6.
Boston in 6, yeah.
I got the same thing. Boston is 6, but I think you're really underappreciating the Boston Celtics and their level of depth.
They let Atlanta hang around.
I told you Trae Young was going to be shooting threes from half
I
court,
know,
man.
but that's all they got,
You
man.
can't guard that, man. You look
man,
at look.
Man,
the Warriors got 2 players that can shoot threes from half court. The Hawks got 1 that can really stretch the court, and that was enough to get them 2 wins.
They gonna let Philly hang around?
No.
Okay.
I
Philly
think
ain't going. Philly's got a little fight. They got a little pressure on them. They got to win. So
I think the Celtics are just too deep. Even with Tatum, like you said, Tatum doesn't seem to be an alpha dog or whatever the case may be. But Jaylen Brown steps right in, and it just takes over like he did tonight. He led the team in scoring. He can easily just take over. So I just think that this team is just way too deep. With players that can easily just take over from Smart, White. You got Brogdon on the bench who can he was 6 of 10 tonight with 23 points. He was the second leading scorer. So they just got a number of players that can just take over when they want to, man. And that's why was it Grant Williams? He had a pretty good game coming off the bench. So I don't know. I'm a big believer in the Celtics this year. Okay. I got the Celtics winning this in 6. Joel Embiid, you had a great season, dude. But yeah, I think this one, you're just overmatched.
Did we talk about Miami and New York? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk it over again. I think I said I got the Knicks winning this. Yeah. Knicks
okay.
Winning
I said Miami in 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, but right now, I mean, it's been a good NBA playoffs.
It's been good playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah. We could have did without the playing games, but yeah. You know how I feel about it. It was a total waste of time.
What's the most exciting series right now to you?
Oh, it Kings Warriors. That was exciting.
No. Now in the second round.
Oh, right now. I mean,
probably Miami, New York, right?
That was exciting, but I mean, I wasn't really into it. Like the Lakers Warriors, I was into.
Oh, okay. I would say that.
I was into the Nuggets Suns.
I'm not into that.
You're not into that? I just love the way the Nuggets play.
Yeah.
I love the ball movement. I love the style. They can play multiple styles. Jamal Murray can just take over. He can be, give him the ball and, let him work and play one-on-one. He can do that.
But after that first game, I think I checked out of that series.
You checked out after the first game?
Oh, yeah.
I watched both.
I was like, this ain't good for my prediction.
Yeah, well, yeah, because your team is not winning.
Well,
Yeah. But I was into it, man.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, man, we'll see what happens next week. But let's go and wrap things up, man.
Yep.
To our listeners out there, thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.